welcome back to the channel. So I know this video is being filmed very not cute, not organized, not set up. What had happened was, just a quick rundown for you guys. I'm actually in Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta. I'm at my aunt's house. I don't really have much of my own space, so this is kind of what I'm just working with right now. It's been a rough month because I've been here for a month now. It's been a rough month trying to find somewhere to live because they didn't have enough housing at Clark Atlanta, so which I'm sure you've heard about because I'm sure everyone's heard about it at this point, but didn't have enough housing, so now I'm here. Definitely blessed though to have family over here, but as you can see by the title of this video, I have been going apartment shopping, and I kind of wanted to just take you along with the process because I don't know what I'm doing. Considering I'm 18, doing this like not by myself but relatively by myself. Like I said, I don't really have my own space here, and the living situation here is kind of just interesting, so I'd prefer to live on my own, which I'm trying to do. Obviously, as you can see, I'm shopping for apartments. Before I even get started in the video, basically I'm just gonna give you a rundown of how the video is gonna go. I just look fucking crazy, but it's fine. We're gonna go through each apartment that I toured, basically talk about the pros and cons. We're also gonna talk about like my needs and wants in an apartment, what I was looking for, everything like that, the pricing on the apartment, pros, cons, and then my ratings as well on the apartment. I will say though, I don't believe, well, it's not that I don't believe. Right now, I'm currently looking for, the situation's complicated, honestly. When I was first looking at these apartments, I had a roommate. She's no longer my roommate. So these are all 2 bedrooms. Then I was looking primarily at 1 bedrooms, which I didn't actually go to tour any 1 bedrooms because 1 bedrooms are just so expensive and I wouldn't be able to afford it on my own. Let me fix my fucking hair because this is out of this world. I wouldn't be able to afford any 1 bedrooms on my own unless I got a second job, which I am looking at now anyways. But then I found another roommate, and now we don't know when we're able to move out. And on top of that, right now when I'm filming this, it is September 14th, Wednesday. We're not really sure about moving into an apartment like we want to, but again, we both need to be paid more. Like, we just don't get paid enough. There's just a lot going into it, but I still want to take you guys along and like still put out this video and everything because I don't know, apartment shopping is a process, and I figured it might be helpful for some people if they're doing it on their own as well at 18, because it's a big step, it's a big leap. So I just want to take you guys along because why not? So first thing that we're going to talk about is basically my budget, needs, and wants in an apartment. Honestly, I didn't have many non-negotiables because I knew it was going to be hard to get an apartment that I absolutely 100% loved with the budget that we had, especially being in Atlanta where everything is super expensive. Like, when I was trying to move in on my own, I was looking at studios and they're $1,500 for a studio. That's before utilities. That's just not going to cut it. So yeah, and obviously, like I said, I didn't get a single apartment in this video. This is just for experience purposes. Our budget for the apartment was preferably going to be under $1,800 because that would mean that we're both paying $900 in rent. And then that would leave some room for utilities, internet, water, stuff like that. My roommate, didn't really care at all about the looks of the apartment or like where we live. She just kind of wanted the more affordable option. I wanted to live somewhere that I actually really enjoyed and really liked. I definitely wanted a modern look, or the most modern that we could get for our budget, considering, like I said, everything's super expensive over here. So like a lot of the apartments that we had browsed online, which is an absolute no for me, was like, it had like that orangey, kind of like this right here. It looks different in the light because it's dark, but like that orangey cabinetry in the kitchen, that's a no for me. So I just wanted a really modern look, or as modern as I could get. I also hate for like floors to be that orangey wood color as well, so I wanted to avoid that at all costs if I could. We were obviously looking for 2 bedrooms. We were okay with sharing a bathroom though, so 1 bathroom wasn't that big of a deal. This wasn't necessarily a non-negotiable because the plan was for me to get a car, which I didn't actually end up getting a car, so car tour, stay tuned. I was looking for apartments that were close-ish and closer to my school. I just wanted to be near a lot of places because I think it's just, you know, it's convenient and made me feel safer in a way. City living can be chaotic, but I kind of prefer city living, at least for now, being young. which may not make sense because shit happens in the city all the time, but you know what I mean. Like, I just felt safer being around more people in the city, closer to my school, closer to things like grocery stores, restaurants. Also, another thing, if you know anything about Atlanta, there's always traffic. Everything is super spread out, so just looking for something that was preferably closer to my school or my job was not a non-negotiable, because I have a car and I'd be able to get around. It just was inconvenient to be farther away, so closer to my school the better. Safety is key. If I didn't feel safe in the area, it was a motherfucking no-go, obviously. I also really wanted professionalism in the management, and to seem like they know what they were doing, because I will say sometimes, like when we had gone into these like apartments or whatever, the management didn't really know what they were doing, or just kind of seemed unorganized or untrustworthy or something like that. So it really was also a lot to do with just the vibe. Like, it just had to be good vibes in the office with the management people. Like, I just needed good vibes. I also don't currently have a pet to bring with me. She was talking about bringing her dog, but that wasn't ever like confirmed, nor do I think it was ever really happening. I think it was kind of just a joke. We obviously didn't have pets, but I did want it to be an animal friendly apartment, because there was talk of potentially getting an animal, and it's definitely been a thought in my mind a lot, especially being over here by myself. Like, a comfort animal would be nice. So animal friendly. It would have also been nice if internet was provided, but guaranteed also, if internet's provided, then you can't pick your own place, and you risk the Wi-Fi being bad, which would be unfortunate considering, you know, I do things like YouTube, I do things like podcasting, and then schoolwork. So internet would have been nice if it was included, just because it's less of an expense, or it's an already included expense that we don't have to go out of our way to search for. But yeah, that was just something that I want to put in there. I also need the complex to be clean. It's one of my like pet peeves, like if it smells, if there's trash all over the halls. Considering, like, I guess I can't control that because it's not gonna be me the one contributing to it. It's just kind of part of the vibe. Like, I don't want to be in an apartment where it stinks in the halls and I have to light 4 candles in my apartment to keep it from coming in there. So just being clean. Hard floors were preferred throughout the home, but carpet bedrooms were okay. I also just really needed a nice kitchen. That's literally all I needed, was just a nice kitchen. Kitchen's very important to me. I love to cook. And then the only one non-negotiable, 110% non-negotiable that we had really was that it had to have a washer and dryer in unit. We were not gonna go like downstairs to a washer and dryer room. We were not gonna go to a damn laundromat. Like, we needed a washer and dryer in unit. Okay, but that's basically all of my wants, needs, wishes, dreams, hopes, all of that kind of stuff. So next we're just gonna go over the actual apartment. I toured 4 apartments. We're just gonna go over how I felt about them, what I ranked them 1 to 10, and I have all my notes and everything here. So the first apartment that I went to and checked out, I will off the bat say that I liked a lot. It, unfortunately, which kind of docked itself points, was farther than I would have liked it to be, but for the price that was advertised online, it was worth it, which is why I still checked it out. Also considering like the pictures online were really nice, pricing, everything like that, I was like, okay, I don't mind this drive, because it's around 20 minutes from where I live currently, and I live like 5 minutes from the school currently, so it's like, again, a 20-minute drive to school without traffic. But one con that I can say that with this apartment was that online the prices were not accurate, which actually I found was pretty common in all of these. I think there was only one apartment where the prices online were actually accurate in person when I went in there to check on it, but this was unfortunately one of them. The prices were not accurate, expensive. When I went in person to check on it, then it popped up online. I'm pretty sure online it said it was like $1,600 for a 2-bedroom, but when we went in she said it was like $1,800, $1,850. I can't exactly remember the exact amount, because at that point then the price was no longer worth it to, like, you know, even consider it in the picture. And that was also not including utilities. Utilities at this apartment was based on usage. I believe it also, she said it was paid to Georgia State, so she doesn't have like a estimated number for us, which was kind of unfortunate, because we did want to know like what we were getting into, like in the entirety. We didn't want to go in there and have to pay an extra $200 in utilities and not know about it. I loved the layout. It was very updated, very nicely done. The kitchen and bathrooms were nice. That's another spot that I really wanted to look nice, was the bathrooms. The bathrooms needed to be good as well. The apartment itself was just overall great. Something else I really wasn't a fan of, that not only like was it kind of farther from my school, but it also felt like semi in the middle of nowhere. Like, it wasn't really in the middle of nowhere, but it kind of like, it was almost like off the highway. So there were things around like relatively close. Like there was, you know, shopping centers with grocery stores and stuff like that with like within 10 minutes, 5 minutes or whatever, but I just didn't like how it was like off the highway and kind of felt in the middle of nowhere. Like there was no walking anywhere if I wanted to, which is kind of what I was looking for, is to like be able to walk somewhere. And then lastly, I wasn't really a fan of the complex itself. It wasn't like the cleanest. The halls of the complex stunk. And also on top of that, it was an outdoor complex, which is kind of crazy to me because how do you stink up the outdoors? Yeah. The clubhouse was clean though, and the actual apartment was nice, but the building I could have done without. Also random, but none of the appliances were updated, which would have been nice if the appliances were updated. They didn't look super old. They didn't look like they were gonna crap out on me, break down or anything like that. For as new as the apartment looked, updated appliances would have been nice with that as well. So overall, I'll just give the first apartment like a cool 7 out of 10. It just docked points because of the distance from everywhere, being in the middle of nowhere, and then on top of that, the apartment complex stinking, so that's what really docked the points down for me. Now, apartment number 2. I will say I really don't have anything bad to say about this apartment. Apartment number 2 was my top number 1 apartment. If I can move in there tomorrow, I would. I love it. It was really everything that I wanted. The only relative downside was that it was on the pricier side, around $18.50 a month, but that was also including utilities, except for water, which is paid through Georgia Water or Power or whatever, which is also based on usage. And when I looked up like the relative, like the amount that people normally pay, it was like $50, so that's like an extra 25. So that wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, a little bit on the pricier side, but I love this apartment. It also didn't include internet in the rooms, which I actually feel like a lot of these did, and I forgot to mention it and also forgot to check, but I feel like at some of these spots it did. But I made sure to ask with these people because I was really liking this one. They said apartment rooms do not get internet. They don't have like a required internet person. It's just they have internet in the common areas like the clubhouse and whatever else. But like I said, everything I loved. The kitchen was amazing, lots of storage room, 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, appliances were updated, washer and dryer in unit, like really nothing to complain about. I also really like the management, and the building itself was clean, didn't really have a smell, and it's actually going through a lot of renovations, what they said. Like they were doing an Amazon locker mail room, renovations to the pool, and some more things she said. Another thing that I really appreciated about this spot that I didn't notice at any of the other spots was like the security was pretty high tech, which the tech part doesn't even get me, but I guess the thought of like them having like actual security really like helped me out as well. They were talking about security in the parking garage, so they're uploading like or updating like the security cameras and everything like that. There was also security in the rooms that I didn't really play with at all, but they're there, so that's nice. And then also I believe they said that they had like an on-call security guard, or like the police are nearby or something like that. There was some kind of security guard there as well. The apartments also were like 5 minutes from my school, 5 minutes from my job. Like it was literally smack dab in the middle of the two, so that was really convenient as well. Another slight con with that though is that it's in a very high traffic area. Like it's like right on the side of a really busy street, but I could get over that. So yeah, it would have been, I'm just gonna say it's a 9 out of 10. I would say it was a 10 out of 10 and 11 out of 10 if it was a little less expensive and was in a less high traffic area. Alrighty, the third apartment was just a no. Just a no. The only reason I went and looked at it was because 1, it was close to everything that I needed to be close to. 2, it was cheap. It was the cheapest out of all of them. It was only $1,400 a month for a 2-bedroom. That's the only reason I went and checked it out. I didn't even want to go check it out because it just wasn't my style. But when I got there, I immediately knew it was a no. Let me just get into it. I knew it was a no before touring it because the pics, like I had seen like the orange cabinet type look or the dark cabinet, whatever it was, and I was just like, no, this isn't where I want to live. But we both agreed I would still go check it out considering it's cheap. I'll just go look and see how I feel. But it was a no when I got there, and it stunk so bad. I knew it was a no before I even put my hand on the office doorknob. It wasn't a safe area. It was around a lot of homeless people, which I just don't feel comfortable living around, especially because like considering on my way out of the apartment I literally got followed and screamed at by a homeless man. So it just was not in the safest of areas. It is near a college town, I believe, and it's kind of like in the downtown area, so it just wasn't the safest spot. And also, like I said, it stunk like outside of the office. Like I said, the area was convenient though. 5 minutes from my school, 5 minutes from my job. It was also extremely affordable. It was $14.50 actually for a 2-bed. I wasn't a fan of management. They kind of seemed like a hot ass mess when I came in there. Also, with the management kind of being all over the place, this kind of irritated me because it's one thing for the prices online to not be updated, but for your availability to not be updated, because I walked in and she said that they had no apartments at all available and they might be available in October, which is why I still toured it, because October was when we were going to move. But how are you going to not have a guaranteed, like your website doesn't say that, like it says that you guys are completely open and available, but they didn't have 2 beds, 1 beds, nothing. Again, an instant no, but we're gonna continue. They didn't allow animals. Looking at the room, it just wasn't my style. The wood, the wall color, there was like an orange wall. Like, why is there an orange wall? All of it, the carpet, it just wasn't a vibe, wasn't for me. So overall, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10, only for the fact that it was cheap and it was close to everything that I needed to be close to. And then apartment number 4, this is actually a townhome. It wasn't even an apartment, but this one was also pretty far out. Again, the only reason why we really checked it out was because it was the cheapest out of all of them advertised. It didn't end up being the cheapest once I actually went and looked at it. It said online that it was $12,000 for a 2-bed, 1-bath. Maybe there's 2 baths, I don't know. I can't remember right this second off the top of my head. But it was only $1,200 for a 2-bed. So we were like, okay, the distance is kind of far, but obviously if we're only paying $600 a month a piece, like, we'll make the drive for that. But once we actually got there, she said it was around $1,500 for an 11th month lease. For some reason, when you do a 12-month lease, it jumped up to $1,800 a month. So the 11th month lease is what we would have stuck with if we were to get that townhome. But like I said, pretty far out. It was actually near the airport, so I can also imagine the traffic would be really, really bad over there as well, which kind of worried me. But yeah, it was $1,501 for an 11th month lease. The spot wasn't bad. I liked management. They were really helpful and seemed to know what they were talking about. This spot was also going through a lot of renovations because they're under new management, just like the second apartment, I think is what I said, was going through a lot of renovations. But like, they were doing things like painting doors, adding a dog park, getting the neighborhood back to neighborhood is what they said. So yeah, kind of just like modernizing it a little bit more. There was a lot of carpet in the house that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but of course it's really big and had a lot of closet space. I could also tell that the apartments were pretty old just by the layout. Like, I think in the first clip there was like 3 doors in the one little area of the bathroom, which was kind of obnoxious, and then the laundry area also kind of gave me like really old vibes, which I wasn't the biggest fan of. They said all the units were renovated, but I can tell their form of like quote-unquote renovation was just like new carpet and painting the walls, because there was like a lot of dings in certain areas. Also, another updated feature that they had was like the silent cabinets, but other than that, I don't think that it actually got renovated. But the kitchen was okay, cabinets were nice. Organization of the whole place kind of just threw me off again, like with the whole weird bathroom doors situation. I just wasn't a big fan of that. But I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I'm only taking off points due to the distance and then the layout and the look of the house, but price was amazing, management was really sweet. Yeah, I wasn't too mad at that spot. That would have been a good spot. But yeah, so that's all the spots that I toured. We've come to the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. But yeah, if you guys are looking for apartments, just don't give up, because I know right now I'm on the verge, but we're in this journey together. That's it. All of us are, you know, trying to figure out things and trying to figure our way throughout adulthood. You know, we're all in it together. Just biggest tip, just remember, go check it out in person, because and read reviews, because as I said to you guys, you know, prices online weren't accurate, things stunk, which we did check out reviews. But granted, you have to also take some of these reviews with a grain of salt, because some people just be reviewing just to review because they're angry. And you just gotta look at your pros and cons, like your non-negotiables, stuff like that. And then don't lower your standards because you're eager to get an apartment. Like, I know, like, you know, some situations for people are toxic, so they're like, I need to move out tomorrow. Like, there's certain situations where like people want to get an apartment very quickly, but you are going to hate yourself if you move into an apartment that you don't love and then you're stuck there for 12 months and then you sit there and cry and complain about it, you know? But yeah, I might be doing a part 2 of this if I can find any apartments like remotely in my budget, or if this roommate thing with my other friend ends up working out, then we might do a part 2. Who knows what's happening. But if I do have any Atlanta watchers out there and you guys have apartment suggestions, please comment or DM me. Please let me know where to go, because I don't know anymore. Yeah, that's the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope it helped some of you guys out or gave some of you guys some comfort. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep up with me on the journey. Also, let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Okay, so I have a little surprise and a small favor to ask everybody who's watching this video. Go stream my dad and I's podcast. I haven't ever actually officially announced it like on the channel, so it's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And also let me know if any of you guys use like any other platforms so that I can upload it on there. The link will be in the description box below so that you guys can go stream it. And we kind of just talk about a lot of things that normal dads and daughters don't really talk about, such as sex, relationships, you know, food, how our relationship came so strong and everything like that. But yeah, But I just wanted to announce it on here. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and stay tuned for the moving vlogs. Love you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time.